Hey Choppers, welcome to Behind the Mask. I'm Logan and I'm here with Jarrett Ford, designer of Elemancers, Light and Shadow, right?
Light and dark.
Light and dark. Light and
Dark shadow, you know.
Yeah, a little darker. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about the game. It's on Kickstarter now, right?
It is on Kickstarter right now. So Elemancers Light and Dark is a 2 to 6 player fantasy area control board game. What does all that mean? It's 2 to 6 players. There are 6 clans in the game, but there's always 3 clans per faction, and that's the team. So regardless of what number of players you play, it's always one team against another. It's largely area control, but also has set collection, resource management, some progression of story, and card and dice combat.
Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on the board.
Yep.
So what's a little bit of the backstory behind the game, the clans and everything?
So what's interesting is the whole idea behind this Elemancers theme is it was originally a D&D campaign that I had thought of like 8 to 10 years ago.
Awesome.
And then after a few years, I was like, oh, it'd be cool to make this a card game. And I was like, oh, that'd be cool if you make it then into a board game, have more elements, and be able to show this world. And it just evolved from a creative idea from campaign back in the day.
Nice. We love playing D&D. If you see on our channel, we've got our live streams of D&D games and going on and stuff like that for other designers for their D&D campaigns. So that's really awesome to see it progress from a D&D campaign to a board game.
Yeah.
How you transfer the stuff over. So you say about 10 years ago. So that would
Yeah, like working on the side. Yeah.
That would have been about 3.5 D&D or 4th edition.
3rd edition, yeah.
Yeah, 3rd edition.
Originally, yeah.
It's pretty similar to the editions nowadays, but a lot of
old
school
players.
players.
I totally missed Pathfinder. I went 3rd edition to 5th.
Pathfinder.
I missed it.
I think I played 1 or 2. I got the box set of Pathfinder, and then I was wait for 5th edition to come out. I looked at 4th edition, and some of my friends loved it, and I was like, it seems too much like a video game for me, like WoW kind of playing 4th edition. So yeah, 5th edition I love. So it's good to see that transfer 3rd edition to a board game.
Yeah, and you'll notice that when you look at the game, the fact that the descriptions of the different battle cards and these lore cards that talk about different story beats in the game, that it's just learning more about the story and what these elements are that are in the game. What are these creatures? It's a cool flavor element.
Do the different clans are able to access different spells from the elements in the game?
Largely, all of the clans can do a lot of the same stuff as far as balancing. So a lot of it is just flavor difference that it feels different because it has described the type of pictures for the creatures and spells. But for the battle cards, about half the deck is unique to that clan. So if you're the Cryo clan, you're doing stuff that you're like protection and numb, I can't do stuff, or like Shadow that you're sneaky and do stuff in the darkness.
Awesome. That sounds
so it still has that feel to it.
So the game is on Kickstarter. As of the time of the recording, it has 23 days, I think, left on Kickstarter.
I believe that's correct.
Yeah, so it'll be good to see how far it comes. I know as of right now it's not funded, but hopefully it'll get there.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, oh, if you don't fund it the first 2 days, then you're not going to do it. But I personally have seen games that start off slow, and then by the last day, they're just like 101%. They really
honestly, what that's based on is just exposure. People have spent all this money ahead of time that you already have all these people going into it. So what I've noticed even here, every single person that plays the game is like, wow, I love this game. Like what I posted yesterday, like every single person that played the game is like, oh, where can I get this game?
Yeah.
Where can I buy it? I was like, well, I made it. Oh, I made it? It's like,
yeah. A lot of people don't understand.
Let's get it out there.
But yeah, the game's good. It's like, with exposure, getting it out there. That's one of the reasons I wanted to do this series of interviews with designers to be able to help get the word out there. Because sometimes ads don't do it. You pay hundreds of dollars for ads on different websites.
Yeah.
And it still doesn't bring it in no matter how much exposure. So you got to get different ways of exposure.
Totally.
Yeah. So, if I'm going to cross my fingers with this. So if it doesn't happen to fund, are you going to think about bringing it back to Kickstarter later on, or try to get it some other way out there to the market?
I'll probably try to think of some other way to get out there to the market because Kickstarter is really dependent on sort of like Senate votes. You want to have all the votes before you do the vote in the House. So we'll see. Like I'm not crossing a bridge yet because I don't want to jinx anything.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more like I'm trying to find some other way to get it out to people. Whether it's I make prototypes that are a little more expensive but more affordable than what it cost me to make my 3 prototypes piecemeal, getting all the pieces to make it. But we'll see.
Yeah, awesome. awesome. That's great. Because I've seen the game, I've seen it on Kickstarter, I've seen other people doing their previews for it, and it looks great. You know, I haven't had a chance to look at it myself. Hopefully, I get a chance to possibly play it this weekend over here at DunDraCon 44. Woo!
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks great. It looks awesome. So thank you for taking the time to sit down with me.
Totally.
And we'll keep your fingers crossed for Elemancers Light and Dark.
Check it out.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time on Behind the Mask.